how's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Jeff Zahler here. Switched up a little bit, so the main screen is going to actually be my personal page today, and got Instagram and the Zahler Properties feed up there. Wanted to switch gears a little bit today. We talked about we talked about sellers the week before. And this is one that's come up lately, and I wanted to talk about it last week, but wanted to see what was shaking out before I kind of talked about it. But we got some cautionary tales today, so I'm going to throw on here that, remember, I am not a lender. I'm not going to talk to you about the actual direct stuff about being a lender, but I can talk to you about a couple cautionary tales that we're seeing in this Las Vegas market when it comes to using certain lenders. Again, I'm not going to name names. I never do. Even if I try, it may slip, but that's not my intention here. So again, first thing, whoever you decide to use for your lender, please know that we will obviously work through that. When you talk to us, if you're looking to buy a home, or if you're looking to sell a home, one of the things we talk about is lenders. And obviously on the buy side of the lending thing, that's really more important. We have a group of some phenomenal lenders that we like to connect our clients to. And the reason we do that is because we know how they operate, right? We don't know your credit score as a borrower. We don't know, how much money you're making. That's not really our business as far as the actual details are concerned. Our business is connecting you with the person that we feel that you're going to have the best connection with, that's going to have the right way to make the deal close. I got royalty here. Aaron, thanks for joining me. So, so again, going back to the lenders. In the last 2 weeks, we've had deals where we're the listing agent go south at the very, very end. One of them we were able to salvage. It did take a couple day delay, even though the lender had 35 or 40 days to close the deal. And then the other one, believe it or not, the lender, who is a local lender, but they're a larger bank, and that's as far as I'm going to go into it, asked for an extension for their client. My client agreed to it as a seller under the pretense that their earnest money, their deposit, was going to be immediately submitted to my seller as non-refundable. This was for a $195,000 condo. The buyer, it was a first-time buyer, wanted the place, gave notice on her apartment that she was leaving, and the lender was confident, and I'm using that word in quotes, confident that within 3 days that they would be able to get this deal closed out. It was just a timing thing and no problem whatsoever, but they asked for a week. So explained that to my client, said, okay, hey, let's get this done. Earnest money of $2,500, which again, when you're buying a $195,000 condo, is a good amount of money, immediately released to my sellers. And we get forward and we move forward. Long story short, you can tell where this is going. The extension came and went. The lender was not communicative at all. I'm actually still waiting for a text message or an email response from a week ago. And I finally heard from the other agent saying, we're going to have to unfortunately kill this deal because everything my client's given them, they're still asking for more stuff. So it's a really sad story, and I'm not smiling at it, but this first-time buyer who went into a large bank, because that's where she banks with, because it's easier to go into a bank, was not able to get a loan done in time. Everything kept coming up. Something else came up. Long story short, she was out $2,500. She was out the price of an appraisal, which is about $500. She was out the price of a home inspection. So realistically, she was out close to $3,500. Is now going to have to either go back to the apartment she was renting or find a new place because she gave notice. And this really was all square on the lender. And I hate to put people under the bus, but this lender was just could not get the deal done. Her credit was great. Everything was great. There was just one issue after another. So cautionary tales, right? When we're representing our buyer clients, we try really hard to make sure we never have this happen. In fact, knock on wood, I don't think I've ever, in all of our business, we've ever had a client lose a dime of earnest money. So, and part of that is connecting with proper partners who do nothing but loans for a living. When you go into a big office branch or you go and call one of these online lenders and you don't have a specific person that's assigned to your account, things are going to fall apart, right? And again, it's a really sad situation that we're seeing. Now we get it, right? With mortgage rates doing what they've done in the last 4 or 5 months or so, they're actually coming down a little bit today, so that's good news. They're behaving, is what I like to say. But we've actually noticed a lot in the last few months that even our buyers are shopping their loans, right? So they may call one of our partners, get a good rate, get good service, but I'll get a phone call 2 weeks into the process saying, Jeff, we've made a couple phone calls and we feel like we can probably get a little bit better of a rate. My first answer on that, or my first response is, does the company have a .com behind them, right? Is it a .com only type of company? And whenever it is, you know you're going to get sloppy service. You know you're going to get service that is, you're calling a call center. You're not calling somebody that we know and we've properly vetted. Sometimes interest rates look really sexy and attractive, saving a quarter point or whatever. I get that, and our agents get that. But really, when it comes down to it, service is so important, and value is so important when it comes to working with a realtor like us or working with a lending professional, right? Do you want to take a risk at maybe saving $15 a month on your payment, or knowing that your loan is going to get done if it can get done, and get it done the right way, on time, and under budget, right? So the good news is most of our clients do shop, and I invite them to do so, but most of the time they shop, they'll come back and realize the value with our partners. And the reason, again, we've vetted these partners is because we trust them, we know how they operate, we know that they can get a loan done in the time frame they tell us. Our clients never, ever have to ask for an extension because a lender is taking their time. Las Vegas, as we know right now, is one of the hottest markets in the entire country. Sellers aren't going to wait for you, right? If you think you're going to get in and then try to ask for extensions later, eventually, like in the case with my clients specifically, you're going to get to that point where enough is enough and the seller's not going to say anything. So you've now spent money, you may have lost a deposit, and you now have to start over. So we wanted to talk about this last week, again, like I said, but I wanted to see where this was going, and it got even worse than I thought, and I figured this was a good cautionary tale, because I know there are a lot of you out there that are looking to make a home purchase, whether it's your first time buying a home or your 100th time buying a home. Lending has changed and continues to evolve every single day. Money is relatively easy to get. There are now programs that you can get almost 100% financing again. But what you see in print and what you see on the internet, people, is not always the truth, okay? So talk to us, bring up, hey, I'm shopping, and that's fine, right? We advise that, because at the end of the game, we want to make sure that you are taken care of successfully, and most importantly, you feel good about the transaction. But if it's what you tell your kids. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's usually what you see with a lot of these online companies or these direct banks. And again, I think I got through this without mentioning the bank's name. I would love nothing more to never have this conversation with another buyer or another seller again of why we had to cancel a deal. But until people start realizing that you go to a professional for what they do. I don't go to my dentist to have my head examined, although I probably should. Banks are set up for a lot of things. They have a lot of different arms, but a lot of those people in there are simply employees of the bank that may make a little bit of a bonus on your deal, right? Go talk to a direct lender. Go talk to a mortgage broker. Go talk to somebody who has to go out and earn their business like we do, not wait for somebody to come in at the branch and say, how can I help you? Because those people really don't have the ability or the access to make sure that your file is getting done on time, and there's no reason in this market that a file shouldn't be done in under 30 days. If anybody's telling you it's going to take longer than 30 days, that's a really good indication to take a hike. So, cautionary tale again. We'll talk about something obviously a little bit more lighthearted hopefully next week. And until then, thanks so much for watching as always. Jeff Zahler with Zahler Properties and our ZPLive. This is episode 41, signing off. If you want to catch up on any of our old Zahler Properties shows, all 40 other episodes, They are on our YouTube channel. I believe it is youtube.com/Zahler Properties. But Daphne will make sure she puts a link up here later. Got some great content, and again, 41 episodes deep. We've talked about buyer stuff, seller stuff, investment property, rentals. I think I talked about my kids once or twice. Made a comment about how the Golden Knights were only going to make it to the second round of the playoffs. Whoops. Yep, that's it. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the 115 degree or 113 degree weather tomorrow. Take care.